Today's video is to address the simple question, how much earnest money should I get on my listing? The question is simple, but the answer requires more considerations. Receipt of the earnest money is one of the remedies the seller is entitled to if the buyer defaults on his obligations under the contract. In other words, the earnest money is liquidated damages or predetermined damages that the seller will incur if the buyer defaults. So understanding this, you must take into consideration when negotiating the earnest money, not just the price of the house, but all of the circumstances and contingencies in the contract. For example, on a $300,000 house, the price is not the only factor. Take this house and say you are in the middle of a hot spring market. You get an all-cash offer, closing in 10 days. If the buyer doesn't show up at closing, what are the seller's damages at this point in time? Now let's take that same $300,000 home in the same hot spring market and let's make the contract contingent on a 90% loan to value, including special provisions that the buyers want his decorator and architect to have anytime access to the property during the contract. The buyer wants the living room painted purple before closing, and closing is set for the Friday after Thanksgiving. Now, if the buyer doesn't show up then, what are the seller's damages? Earnest money is negotiable and should take into account not just the price of the house, but all other conditions of the contract. Allegiance is happy to share these tips with you and ask you for the opportunity to partner in your success. Thank you.